everybody doing? How was everybody's weekend? No, I did not see Lauren at the psych ward. Which Lauren? I'm good. I didn't get, I think I got 2 hours of sleep. I don't even know if I got a full 2 hours. But I'm here with my cup of coffee ready to go. So, today, we're going to talk about Kat, Eric, Carla, J. Paul, Team Medina, Asia, and then the bottom row, I've decided to declare them bolos, but they're not really. Some of y'all have seen them before, and you know that they're scammers, but since it was my first time getting to know them, I've labeled them bolos. Okay, Mama Bear. So, I'm going to start with Kat. She is at the top, so why not? Now, Kat is one of those people that made a promise to get her life together. And she actually came to the anti-scam community to say that. And I got in the box and I told her, I'm not going to talk about you. I'm going to give you the opportunity. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. If you're a member of the team, hit the Daily Heart Me. If not, stick around. Please tap the live until you feel the heart's tail. So we end up on the FYF. And hopefully we'll come across some new people who aren't familiar or who may be watching thinking, oh, I want to help that person. Or someone who's already sent $20 not realizing that they were doing that with scammers. That is the point of all of it. So, when Kat said she was going to get herself together, I promised her I wouldn't say anything. And then I came here and I told y'all I wouldn't say anything. I'd give her the opportunity. And sure enough, she came back and it was obvious that she had her head on straight. For as brief of a time as it was, she was with her then fiance. They were talking about getting married. Like, her life sped up very quickly. But as long as you're doing the right thing, she was working. She was clearly better. And then she returned again. And this time, it was off. She showed a photo of blood on the wall, saying that she caught her fiance cheating again, which, believe him, the first time, and that was her girlfriend's response, fiance's response, was to cut her, and that's why there was blood on the wall, and she needed to get away from her. She cried about the fact that she gave up her car to pay for her girlfriend's car, and now she doesn't have a car. She also didn't have a job. And I was like, I'm suspicious. Because even at one point, the fiance came in, and I'm like, and people were like, call the cops. And she was like, I've been in jail. I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. But you wanted people's money, though. You don't have no problem doing that. Good morning. So, I reserved judgment. And I was like, why is the first move you make come to TikTok? And then she got some money. She ended up at like some coffee shop asking for more money. That's what it seemed like, a restaurant of some kind. Then when she got to where she was going, it became obvious that everything she said was a lie. Because Kat was back to using, and I mean using a lot. She couldn't even keep her story straight. She could barely keep her eyes open. There is a difference between when Kat is fully functioning and when she's not. And I say this all the time. People who engage in substances think that they sound normal, think that they're smarter than everybody else in the room, when everybody else in the room can identify the fact that they are off. So, sorry guys. So, she was asking for money to get a uniform. No, I'm sorry. She was asking for money because she was going to be starting a job. At the same time in that conversation, she was going for an interview. And when people were like, wait a minute, I thought you needed to get like khaki pants and a polo for work, she was like, what I have on isn't good for an interview. At that point, she said that her aunt was diagnosed with cancer, then it became her cousin. Like, she couldn't keep it straight. And then her roommate, not realizing she was live, walks in the door and is like, I saved us this and this rug. And people were like, wait a minute, what? Now, my problem is this. You want to tell us you're clean. We heard what he said. How are you still a mod for her? Like, I understand people being like, I don't want to, thank you, I don't want to abandon you, right? I can still be your friend and not be your mod. Because as a mod, I'm obligated to follow your direction. And when the truth is being spoken in the chat and you tell me to block it, guess what? I'm not blocking the truth. So how can you choose to be a mod for some of the most deplorable behavior on the planet? You are watching her unalive herself, and you would rather stay a mod than hold her accountable. Make it make sense. So then, oh wow, thank you. So then, she gets upset that we're clocking her. And at one point, she was like, I can't tell somebody else what to do. Because he was obviously a dealer as well. A street pharmacist, if you will. And she ends the live because she knows people are going to report the crap out of her. Well, she's been coming on, off and on, ever since then. And she always has the perfect reason why she needs your money. So the other day, she made this huge display of, I'm getting my life together, can't you see? She shows us a screenshot of what's supposed to be her start date and her schedule. But of course, her name is nowhere to be found. I can't say the front, but noodle, I understand. Hey, Mama Bear, I understand. There you go, Granny Annie. You know that's my favorite. Thank you so much. So she makes this whole, like, can't you see that I'm better? Can't you see this? Can't you see that? I start work, what day was it? September the 15th. But she wanted money. My question is, if you're not starting till the 15th, why do you need money today? Right. She wasn't supposed to start work until the 15th. You made a huge display. I don't think we're gonna have Guardians of Valor this morning, y'all. I'm sorry, I just saw the Bills win come across. I don't think we're gonna have the governor or Guardian here. I'm sorry, y'all. He was going to the Bills game, and it was late, and they won literally in the last second. So I don't think he's gonna be here. But I'm happy for him. So she comes on Friday after the live, and is asking money to get to work. Good morning for everybody coming in. And I literally wrote down, why is she asking for help for work when she doesn't start for 2 weeks? And she's like, oh, the schedule is killing me. I'm so tired. And people were like, wait, what? She's like, I'm working, working, working. Can't you tell that I'm better? Again, you made the hugest display of letting us know that you were starting on the 15th. We were all there for it. And now you want to say you're working? And so now I go back to that and I say to myself, that probably wasn't even hers. I didn't think it was hers from the gates. But I always reserve judgment. Maybe it is. But when you are so willing to put out that level of detail, but you're not willing to show your name, I have questions. Every time Josh and Ida we needed a bill, they would show a bill. They would show the amount, but never their name. You can block out an address, an account number. You were a mod for her, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa, do you mind coming up? I promise I'll be gentle. I'm not here to try to um like be mean or anything like that. But I just love to hear. Here, I'm gonna invite you up. Yes, we as a community would love to hear your story. Okay, I've invited you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay. Barely just woke up, but I'm good. How are you?
I go live very early in the morning, and anytime I try to make it later, people are like, "No, no, no." So I
Well,
help
here it's
people get up and get
4:50.
moving. So tell us about your time with Kat.
With Kat, I was a mod for her maybe a month, and then I had to block her. Like I got tired of her shit. So she kept asking me for money, and I kept telling her, no, I can't do that. And then one day she goes, I need 20. Give me 20. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I never said I was going to help you with cash. But yeah, she kept bugging me for money.
And then you must know you weren't the only one.
Oh, no, I know that. I definitely know that. But how she just kept bugging me for it. And I just kept telling her, no, no. And then she still kept going.
And I
But she was like,
appreciate you saying that because a lot of people think that the mods must be getting a cut. That's why they continue to be mods. And I used to think the same thing, but now I know that oftentimes it's the mods that they expect to fund them, not the other way around.
yeah, so, well, she talked to me through Instagram, and I blocked her because she was asking me for the money, and then when she noticed, automatically took me off as a mod. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. So
I
yeah,
bet you were.
what was that?
I said, I bet you were happy that you got to get away from her.
Yeah, and I didn't want to really mod for her anymore, just because how people were talking to her and like treating her, and she was being disrespectful.
Uh huh.
So yeah, I maybe a month I was there for a mod, but then I was glad she took me off.
Yeah. Um, did she want you to block like if someone was making a true statement, did she expect you to block things like that?
Yes.
Mhm. What was her rationale? Did she explain why she wanted it blocked or she just said those were lies?
She just said block it. Like anything, like you said with that, she block it. Don't like listen to them and block it. Cause, but like I noticed too with mods and with them when they're the true stories coming out, that's when they block everything because they don't want anybody to know.
Right. Right. Or they'll and she's also really good at ending the live and restarting, so that she's hoping that people who know the truth about her will go away and find somebody else to talk about.
Right. Then I noticed like she would cry. She would sit there and cry like to get sympathy. I'm like, dude, what? I don't understand that. And I don't think a lot of people didn't help her because of who she is.
So how long ago were you her mom?
Maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, okay, so since her return.
It was well. I think after I went off is when she disappeared for a little while.
Mm.
I think that was
Oh,
around that
okay.
time. I can't. I want to say maybe 2 months. I was. It's been
Oh, okay.
because yeah, I was getting tired of her shit.
Yeah, I get. That's why I don't understand how some people have mods for months and months, years and years, because I couldn't imagine having to help them beg for money, keep up with the lies, try to pretend like I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. So, I want to applaud you for walking away because it became too much.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And her if you're her mod, she expects you to give her money.
Oh,
She
wow.
because you're the mod, you give her 20, 30, and she's gonna keep you as a mod. But I never gave her anything.
Good for you. Good for you. I applaud you for walking away. And I also applaud you for being willing to come up in what other people would like to say is a hostile environment. It's never hostile over here. But I appreciate you being willing to come up in front of almost 250 people to talk about your experience. And so, guys, I want you to grasp this. It's very often that the mods aren't the ones getting paid. They expect their mods to send them money, especially when no one else is. It's take care of me, not me. I'm not going to, take care of you for modding for me. No, no, no. You got to pay me to stay my mod.
Right.
Well, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you doing so.
No
And I
problem.
would love for you to stick around.
No, I will. I'm gonna get ready for work. So I have to be at work in a couple hours.
Okay, honey, no problem.
You guys have a good
Enjoy
day.
your day. You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Pisces, I haven't seen it, but I will. Do you know how to get down? Or you want
No.
me to let you down? Sure, no problem. Okay, wait a minute. Good morning.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. It's a new one that came across my screen, and she is bad.
What is her name?
Miss something. I sent it to you in your
Okay.
messages.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll look for it. I wrote it down. I'll look for it specifically.
Okay, darling.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Hmm.
Do you know how to get down? Oh, yep, she does. Okay, hold on. Good morning, Sean Stone.
Hello.
Hi.
I came up here by accident.
Oh, okay.
I
No
was
problem.
tapping and I think I got up here.
I
So,
appreciate you tapping. I'll let you back down. Thank you.
all right, thank you.
It happens to me too. Kelly Givens, I will look for it. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Come on. Yeah, Liberty and Justice. I thought I didn't know who that was. I absolutely do know who that is. And she uses her soft voice and her hippie lifestyle to take advantage of people all across this country. Oh, wait. Heather Joanne, you're not coming through. If you want to come up, um, re send another request. Maybe I will. Let me write it down. I have talked about her in the past, but I haven't seen her in a while. But I watch as she goes from one person to the next. She stays with them. She's like a succubus. She sucks everything out of you. And when you've had enough, congratulations, Karina. When they've had enough, she's gone. Sheena's sister. Somebody send me Sheena's sister. I did hear that she is no better than Sheena, and they don't like each other, and they use the battle between each other to. They're like Gabby and Danny. So is that crash out Fifi and her sister. And it's like we used to keep sister rivalry out of the public eye. And my thing is this, if that's how you treat your sister, how do you how do you treat your enemies? How do you treat the people who you claim you care about if that's how you are with your sister on a public platform? Yeah, I know Mama G. She got one, and her biggest supporter apparently sent one to her sister. I found out last night, and so I know she wasn't happy about it. But let's stay focused. Oh wait, I want to just say one other thing. I know I said I would never talk about her again, but what I told y'all I didn't sleep last night. Hold on. I know I said I wouldn't talk about Faith anymore, and this really isn't. She wasn't a part of the plan because I have the grid ready before the sub live at 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. But it was 2, 3 in the morning, and I saw that she was on, so I decided to go in. And one of the things we all know that she treats her parents like they're her personal slaves. That they got to do things when she wants them to do it. She doesn't care how will it affect them. And so whenever I see her on in the middle of the night, I'm like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that you make your parents either get up or stay up until you're ready to go to bed? Or are you able to do more than you want people to know? So they help you get ready for bed, and then you stay up and do whatever until you're ready to go to bed, and you do it. Because on one hand, she wants to act like she's completely dependent, that she can't do anything, but yet her profile photo is her standing up with crutches. We saw her on a live go to the bathroom by herself, and yet when she wanted sympathy, someone said, can you go to the bathroom by yourself? And she first said yes, and then when they said, can you take your pants off, she said no. So which one is it? But I'm bringing her up because all of this talk about her not knowing what she's doing, having the mind of a 12-year-old, being taken advantage of, all went out the window for me last night. Now, I will admit that when I came into her live, I was not there for the beginning. I came in while she battled this gentleman. Well, I don't want to call him a gentleman either, because some of what he said and did was wholly inappropriate. But let me tell you, she gave more than she got. And I'm like, are you guys okay with her talking this way? She was talking about how his member made her think of a carrot. She talked about sucking his and his brother's, all in an attempt to be insulting. She had some of the nastiest things I've ever heard her say come out of her mouth. Why? Because it's the middle of the night. Why? Because the only people up at that time are the people who support her. So that it doesn't matter what Faith does, says, whatever, they always have an excuse ready. Oh, well, he said such and such. Now, my problem is this. If Faith was so offended that she had to get out of character, why did she battle him 7 times? $400 3 days ago. It was absolutely disgusting. It was a display that I haven't seen someone without a disability act like. Why do you think that because you have a disability that grants you the right to talk to people any which way? But if someone spoke to you that way, your entire account would rip them to shreds. She doesn't know what she's doing. How can you talk to her that way? Now, again, I'm not saying that this gentleman was innocent. Not by any stretch of the imagination. But part of the reason why she kept getting mad was that his chat was telling him information about her. And she got really pissed off about it. Now, he said some things that I think were inappropriate. He made jokes about her condition. He made jokes about the fact that, she was in a wheelchair and this, that, and the third, and how she couldn't do this and that because of it. I don't find him acceptable whatsoever. He will never, ever, ever be on my radar because he got blocked. However, my problem And is that people want to make excuses. Oh, she didn't know what she was doing when she got the 90,000. We can't hold her accountable, but she has the mouth of a sailor, trucker, and anybody else that's deplorable, all wrapped up. And at one point she was like, "Oh, you don't like that I can give it to you as much as you can, as much as you're giving it to me." Excuse me, 12-year-olds? Excuse me? Someone with the mental capacity that can't understand what they're saying and doing? What? So, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about how she doesn't have the capacity. I don't want to hear that she doesn't really know what she's doing. It wasn't people in her chat telling her what to say. People in the chat were making excuses for what she was saying. I wish somebody recorded that live last night and would post it, because I would repost it. Do you hear me? Her mouth was out of control. I wish I had thought about screenshotting it, but I don't do that, so it's never on my mind to do. Exactly. She's intelligent. She knows what she's doing. And I'm like, how are you throwing for her? And so he beat her 5 times in a row. When she won the 6th time, you would think that she beat him 6 times in a row. She was like, "Oh, the most you could get was a 5-piece. You couldn't beat me 10 times in a row." Girl, you still lost. What are you talking about? Why are you acting like this? And even the people in the comments were like, "Yeah, she won. She won. I bet you're mad." Why would he be mad? And again, if what he said was so offensive that she needed to degrade herself, why did she battle him 7 times in a row? And I feel like he probably stopped battling her, because by the end he was just laughing at her. Like, she was like, you can't get a woman, blah blah blah. Like, girl, what? It's all a skit. Listen, I wholeheartedly believe it, because it didn't make sense that you were that offended, but you kept battling. They're probably on the same, have the same agency. And the agency does that. They put their people together so that at the end of the day, the agency wins. It's no different than TikTok. Correct. She sure did, nobody. She sure did. But I don't want to hear about how she needs sympathy and she doesn't understand what's happening. Out the window. Out the window. Okay, let's get back. I'm sorry, y'all. Now, I came across Eric a few weeks ago, and when I first saw him, I had a great deal of empathy. You can tell that he's neurospicy. Let's just put it that way. I don't know what he has. He receives disability. And in New York, if you receive federal Social Security, there is also a local Social Security. Because I was like, what is that? Because he was like, I get SSI, SSDI, and then some more letters. And I was like, I've never even heard of that. Well, that's because very few states have their own disability payment. New York happens to be one of them. Yes, everybody tap until you see the heart. Keep tapping until you see the tail. Fill the tail and then take a break. If you want to tap after that, thank you. I appreciate it. But the goal is to get on the FYF, and that it used to be FYP. It's FYF, For You feed. If anybody has come in through the For You feed, let us know. Just type FYF in the comments, because I'd love to know. Yeah, they say tapping is free. Oh, you can't. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Blind Melon. So, hey, there we go. Yes, that shows you that the tapping is working. I greatly appreciate it. So, Eric, I had empathy. He was dog walking his mother, talking about how she was financially abusing him. That as his payee, she was taking the money and not allowing him. His food stamps had to put food in the house, and when the food ran out, she expected him to come up with more money. He had a job, and she would take those checks too, and then was threatening to throw him out, and that if she did, she was still his payee, and he didn't know what to do. And his stepmother, which was his dad's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, don't ask me, was like, I will take you to the Social Security office and we can change the payee. The stepmother is no longer in the chat. She doesn't come anymore, because I think she realized that this is all a joke. This is all a plan to get money out of people on the internet. And I'm sure she didn't want any part of that. I'm sorry, guys. For those who are new, I take notes. So I'm trying to find the notes I have, because I try to be as accurate as possible. Do I make mistakes? Of course I do. But this helps me. So, anyway, where is it? I took a lot of notes this weekend, guys. Okay, here we go. So, he literally last week had like garbage bags where he claimed he was packing up because his mother was putting him out. I think I told y'all last week he was laying in the bed covering his head with the blanket like, I gotta get out, my mom is kicking me out, I don't have anywhere to go, I'm gonna be homeless, help me, help me, help me, help me, right? So when I saw him at about 11 p.m. on Saturday night, I was like, you still at your mama's house? Because just the other day you was packing a bag for everybody to see. Oh yeah, good old-fashioned paper and pen. I tried doing it digitally. It doesn't work. And he was like, yes, but she's going to evict me. Sir, if your mother was going to kick you out, she would have done it already. For as long as you've been asking people to help you, you would have done it already. He also mentioned at the time that he had a girlfriend, but that the girlfriend didn't want him to have female friends, and so F that, she's got to go. But at the same time, he said that the girlfriend lived there and the mom's boyfriend lived there. When I tell you that this young man says whatever, he doesn't care if it's a truth, a half-truth, a straight-up lie. It is all manipulation to get you to separate from your money and send it to him. So, one of the things that I clocked him on was he plays video games. I think if he could be a full-time streamer and make money that way, he could. And if he tried hard enough and stayed consistent, he could. But I asked him, how did you buy your system? Because these systems is $300, $400, $500. They're not cheap. And of course, because he is not that bright, was like, I paid for it. So if your mother took your checks and your mother takes your Social Security, how did you get the money to buy it? Oh, well, he never answered the question, of course. And he's still playing it. If his mother was interested in punishing him, all she would have to do is take the power cord away. Grandparents and parents, you want to know how to get under your child's skin? Leave the game there. Just take the power cord. They can have the controller. They can have the actual unit. Just take the power cord. You don't got to argue, fuss, and fight and hold it. And just take the power cord. And so one of the reasons why he says his girlfriend was upset was because she didn't want him playing the game with females. Let me tell you something. Now, they're not mature by any stretch of the imagination, but playing a game with somebody that you can't see, hear, or touch unless you have on a headset shouldn't affect anybody negatively. My question is, what were you doing and saying that actually made her that uncomfortable? Because as her man, you were supposed to do things that make her feel comfortable, make her know that there's no reason for her to be worried about it. But Eric isn't mature enough to do that, of course. No. So now, after crying about being kicked out, we have a new reason to be upset. Eric is now whining because he's never going to find anyone to be with him. And I said to him, good morning. I said to him, you're not sure where you're going to live. Like, you need to focus on getting your life together. Why are you worried about having a girlfriend? Are you looking for a girlfriend so that you have somewhere to stay? Or are, in what I believe to be true, you just want something else to whine about to make people feel bad for you? You're not actually going to get kicked out. Do you guys remember there was a young man and he would get on and he would do the same thing? And I mean, he would bawl about needing things, that his grandmother was kicking him out imminently and he had nowhere to go and no money. And then somebody who knew them saw him, called the grandmother. So the grandmother comes in the room and he's like, what? And she's like, somebody called me and told me you were crying because you were getting kicked out. You're not getting kicked out. And he was like, get out. And people in the chat were cracking up at him like, you just got busted in 4K in front of everybody. And the only thing he could do was scream at his grandmother to leave the room. He had been crying so much his entire face was red. I mean, you would think that there was a police officer standing outside the door. And it was all for views. It was all for likes. It was all for gifts. She walked right in. Busted him. I wish Eric's mother would come in and be like, what are you talking about? I'm kicking you out. So when I asked him about whether he was still in there with his mother and hadn't been evicted, he was like, well, she told me she doesn't have her half of the rent, so we're going to get kicked out anyway. So now that we know that we're going to have more time, because let's think about it. You have to be late for you to get the original notice that you were late and that you needed to give payment. Then they have to tell you they're evicting you and file paperwork. They have to wait for the court date for the judge to agree. to give you a deadline to get out, and then the sheriffs show up. So we're talking at least a month or two. So is that why we moved on to I'm never going to find a woman to be with me? And why are you crying about that on TikTok? Listen, it is all a sympathy grab to get money, to get a bunch of empathy. And I don't understand why there are still people in there doing that. Why are you holding his hand and telling him, oh, everything is going to be okay, everything is going to work out? He's not getting kicked out. Because if it was going to happen, it would have happened already. And when he's in a certain mood, he acts big and bad. He has no fears. He's not worrying about anything. It's all BS, guys. And if you happen to go in there, tell the truth. Tell the truth. Yep, they baby him in the comments like crazy. Just tell the truth. You worried about having a girlfriend. Sir, you just said you wasn't going to have anywhere to live. What can you offer her? And it kills me that he covers his head. Yes, he does blame everything on his neurospiciness. Why are you laying in the bed covering your head? Or he'll act like he's going to sleep, but every 2 seconds, them eyes open so he can check the comments. Like, sir. You know, I missed a time when people had a sense of pride. I missed a time where you would be embarrassed for the world to know these things. And now people have literally swung their door open and it's like, come see my horrible life. Did you guys see the video of the woman that was showing how she made dinner in her roach-infested apartment? You could not pay me enough to do that. Gemini Jen, what do you mean? Are you suggesting that I'm not minding my business? Because if you put it on the app, you've made it everybody's business. Good morning, Jill. Right. Like, I don't have a camera in his apartment so that I could come here and tell y'all what's going on. I literally watch them and tell you guys what it is that they do. And then add my commentary. And I'm sorry if you don't like that. But if you don't, then I suggest you go to all of their accounts and tell them to stop sharing their business with the world. You want me to stop? Stop begging for people's money. I love how we gotta mind our business, but my wallet is your business? How much money I have left over to take care of you is your business, but I gotta mind my business? Thank you, Mama G. I love the hypocrisy of it all. Mind your business, but while you're minding your business, can you open up the wallet from your hard work and send it to me? Come on now. But Gemini, stick around. You might just learn something. Correct. My name is Tam, not ATM. Facts. Thank you. I love you guys too. You know that stuff don't bother me, but I sure love addressing it. Because they come in here and they throw a comment because they think, oh, she's not going to see it. And then they screenshot their comment and they're so proud of themselves that they said something in Digital's live. Don't let me catch it or my mods catch it, because we're going to address it every single time. Of course he has a GoFundMe. And probably somebody in his chat suggested that he do so. Thank you, Natalie. I should start clocking some of their mod. Oh, I do. I absolutely do, Brittany. I did a whole mod live. And we'll be doing it again. Don't worry. Because what's funny is that they don't come running in here to defend their person because they know it's indefensible, right? But the moment I show their picture, well, boy, oh boy, you would think I crossed the red line. They don't want to get called out. They don't want people to talk about them. They don't care if you talk about their person, but don't talk about them. Okay, who's next? Get your fingers ready. I don't even know why I bring her up, other than to try to prevent other people from giving her money. What I don't understand about them, or I do understand it, but I don't understand why other people don't get it. Even when things should be going well, right? Why is there always something happening? Yes, everybody tap the live until you feel the heart's tail, please. Why is there always something happening that puts them in a financial bind so they need your money? I have not heard that her dad pays for everything. I'm not going to say that that's not a possibility, because according to her, all she does is work. But if you ask her, they have nothing. They can't help her at all. So, dig here. She gets paid on Wednesdays. Thank you, Sherry. Yes, that is the backup. Digital Deceivers Expose. Just in case. So the story yesterday was that after she got paid on Wednesday, she made 3 transactions on separate days that totaled $150. And then CA created 3 more exact charges, called it authorization holds, and so they basically have locked up $300. And even though people were telling her it's going to come off, that wasn't good enough. It may have changed to 4, Andrea. You know, she'll say and do whatever to make her situation sound. They do. Rochester. So, I'll give you an example. When I order from Walmart, I get delivery. What Walmart will do is if the order is $100, they will place like a $125 hold on my CA, because it used to be that if you bought something and it wasn't available and they gave you the next best thing, you paid the original price. And Walmart realized that they were losing too much money. So now, if they replace it, and it seems like they always replace it with something more expensive, they can upcharge you. There are some items that you pay for by weight, for instance. So they give themselves a buffer. So they don't have to come back later and say, oh no, the bill was even more money. It takes Walmart and CA 7 days to give you your money back. No worries. If I know something, I'm going to share it with you. It takes them 7 days to get the money back. Now, CA told her that those were authorization holds. I just find it interesting because if I pay my car insurance, there's not an authorization hold. If I pay the electric bill, there's not an authorization hold. So what did you spend $150 on? I'm sorry, you're right. It was 4 items. My bad. It wasn't 3, it was 4. That's why I write it down, because I get it wrong sometimes. What 4 separate charges did you make equaling $150 that required authorization holds? Really, Harley, I bet she did. And she made it clear that she thought it should come off in 5 days. Boo-boo, 5 business days, which makes it a week. But then she said that they were made on separate days, so that this one should have come off on, Friday, that one Saturday, that one Sunday. For somebody who's so smart, she doesn't understand what business days mean. She also, and that's the other confusing part, she at one point alluded to the fact that it was the hotel, because she said that she thought it was the hotel charging her like in advance. So when she went to the desk, they were like, we can't do that unless you authorize it. When it comes to giving you your money back, it's business days, and that includes Saturday and Sunday. Please look my private video. I don't know what that's about, but we're not doing that in here. Mute and block, please. Right. Then she said that she called the desk. They gave her extra time, because this was after 12 o'clock, and someone asked her, well, what time is checkout? And she was like, they gave me extra time. But when she wanted to restart her live, because nobody in there was giving her money, and she was trying to find her people that was sent to her, she was like, And just right, but as soon as I ended the live, they called me and wanted to know when I was going to get the money. Girl, I've seen you at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon talking about they gave you extra time. So why are you whining about it after you've been in the room for a few minutes extra? And she was like, I went to the front desk and I showed them that, the money was on hold, hoping that they would work with me. This isn't your family. Thank you. This isn't your family. These aren't your friends. This is a business. The other thing is that she claims that she applied for an apartment. She was doing a tour of another apartment. I want to know who is letting her get a lease on her own with her rental history of being evicted multiple times. Like literally every apartment she's been evicted from. Make it make sense. But literally, I have watched her talk about how she just needs until Wednesday. She just needs until Wednesday. And she gets paid every 2 weeks. And yet, on Wednesday, if not Thursday, she's figured out a reason why she needs your money. Correct, 420? It's nobody's responsibility. And what gets me is she regurgitates the same stories over and over again. And then she'll be like, but if anybody's willing to help, I need $60 for such and such. But if anybody's willing to help, I need $38 for my dogs to have food until I get paid on Wednesday. And when she gets paid on Wednesday, does she buy food? No, she just waits until Friday to say that they've already eaten through the food and she needs more. And my question is this. If you thought you had strep throat and you got antibiotics and 800 milligrams of Motrin, I believe it was, and it's still bothering you, don't you think you need to go to a doctor? Because remember, she did that appointment online. And her reasoning was that she was sick and didn't feel like sitting in a waiting room of other people. I doubt that that's the story. I think she wanted a virtual visit because she didn't want them to know the real reason. Because it used to be allergies. Remember? All the sniffling and all of that was because of allergies. Now it's strep throat. You are still doing all of the sniffling. You are still talking about how your throat hurts. But yet you haven't taken yourself into a doctor's office to make sure that that's what it is. Because it could be something else entirely. And what you took wasn't going to help you. Where is the doctor's visit? Rochester, of course you can ask a question. Do you want to come up to do it? Or do you want to ask in the comments? It's up to you. Yeah, same allergies as Timothy Nash. Exactly. Correct, Remora. And I told her that. Sure, come up. Request. I said that. I said, if you have a viral infection, I said it multiple times. I said, if you have a viral infection, antibiotics aren't going to work. Of course she ignored me. Because what I was saying didn't fit in with what she was trying to tell people. Good morning.
Good morning, Dee Dee. How are you this fine Monday morning?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. The one question I had might take too long to type, but if she said that she was diagnosed during her virtual online visit, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, here's my issue with that. If she was diagnosed with strep, aren't you supposed to have a blood test or some kind of swab to test for the throat issue, strep throat?
Correct. That is the official way to do it. Exactly. They take a culture of your throat, but what they will often do is if they see that is red, etc., they will prescribe you something just in case it comes back positive. Now, in doing virtual visits, they use your symptoms that you share to try to explain it. So what they would have said to her was, you might have strep throat, so let me just give you antibiotics and something for pain. And if it doesn't get better, come into the office. So she came to the chat saying she was diagnosed with strep throat, but she wasn't. There's no way for her to be diagnosed with it because she didn't get the culture and they
Right.
didn't see down her throat. But she just says those things to sound better.
Okay, that's where I was having an issue because I go through a lot of health issues and I know what tests need to be done, diagnosed properly, what you can diagnose over the phone, and I knew strep wasn't one of them.
No, not at all.
And thank you for clarifying the CA issue because I deal with CA a lot, and the only thing that I can think of that maybe there's an authorization hold is that CA has that feature where you can borrow a certain amount of money. I think it's called Cash App Borrow. So if maybe she borrowed that money, didn't pay it back on time, they could nail her money that she gets in. Maybe that's what she's referring to too, but not telling us.
Correct. You are 100% correct. Yeah, I saw that Nike was on. I don't know why they put him in an Airbnb, but yeah, you are 100% correct. She's never going to tell us the truth because
Right.
the truth would identify her as a liar and then she would lose people. So it always has to be this mysterious thing that she has no idea about, except she made the original purchases. So you didn't realize there was going to be an authorization hold? And why would it be for the exact amount you spent?
Okay. All right. Now I understand.
I agree with you.
May I ask one final question before I
Of course.
drop down? Do you happen to have TNA on your radar today, Tim and Angela?
What do you mean by on my radar?
Meaning talking about them today.
Mm-mm. No, the only thing I was gonna say
Okay.
is what Guardians of Valor said. I'm just waiting.
Okay. Okay. Because I wouldn't be around if you had planned on talking about them, and I just had a question or make a statement about it, and I didn't want to disturb the schedule that you have this morning.
Well, you can make the statement you already here.
Okay. Now I read the was it the video that he made explaining how Tim reached out, but my issue with Tim and Angela has always been the cancer issue. Now, I believe Guardian said he was going to address it with Tim if Tim
Yes.
reaches out again, because I'm dealing with something that's potentially lung cancer, and it's a very personal issue to me and a lot of other people on this app. And he's going to try and get Tim to retract that, but I don't know that he's going to. I think that's where he might have a problem with Tim.
Right.
That's pretty
And you
sad.
can't make anybody retract a statement, which is why we do what we do and we let everybody know she had precancerous cells, not cancer. And that's
Right.
all we can do.
Okay.
But
Well,
the people who give them money won't care. And so I
no.
don't care about them. I care about the people like us who come into the situation. We have empathy for somebody with cancer, and then we find out that that wasn't the case. So we keep letting everybody know that that's what it is, hoping that people don't get suckered by the diagnosis that she never got.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you letting me come up in the box.
No problem.
You have a wonderful Monday, and I'm going to drop down in the comments.
You too.
Thank you.
So yes, Jordan says she has heart problems, and she uses that as the excuse for why she would never use rugs. This is the thing about that. There are people who have diagnoses that are they are facing the end of their life. And when they are an addict, it doesn't change it. How many people who are addicted to alcohol get cirrhosis of the liver and continue to drink? How many people who have a lung issue continue to smoke? So you can't say, oh, I have a heart issue and that's why. Because people with worse conditions will still use their rug of choice, whether it's cigarettes. How many people are facing imminent demise because they're addicted to food and yet they can't stop? How many of y'all watch 600-Pound Life and you can't even get out of the bed? You haven't seen outside in 3 years. You know what it is that you have to do. You're given an opportunity to save your life, and they can't stop eating. Oh, I love that show. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jody. Well, I hope she lives her last days to her absolute fullest. The calories don't lie, right? So you can't say that, and that's supposed to explain it all. But for somebody who works full time, now I'll admit a hotel room is expensive, but it is expensive. It equates to a little more than if you had a house, because this is the thing: you pay one fee, you get free internet, lights, water, air conditioning, heat. So when they give you the price, plus you have a cleaning service, all of that is added in the price of a hotel room. So when they're like, it's so more expensive than having an apartment, not necessarily when you include everything you'd have to pay individually. So yes, $3,000 a month for a hotel sounds like a lot, but how many people have rent of $3,000 or $1,500, and with all their other bills, it's $3,000? Now I admit the hotel is going to make money, but if you're going to live in those circumstances because you're not responsible, why is it other people's job to pay for you? And I'm not talking once in a while. And I love when they're like, I just need a little bit of help. It might sound little, but $70, 3, 4, 5 times a week is not a little help. And especially when you don't even know where the end is in sight. You have no idea. She could be there for another 6 months. That's a little bit of help. And let's remember, this is season number 5 with her. Season number 5. We've seen all of this before. And when the friend could no longer fund part of the project, out into the street he went. Now, what I love is that when you said that she asked you for money and you didn't have it, you were mad that she kicked you out, whether it was fair or not. But the moment your friend didn't have the money, what did you do? You kicked him out. So why do you expect different treatment? She's incredibly rude. And when she's not getting it, she'll end and come back. End and come back. End and come back. But I'm tired of her stories because anybody with any critical thinking skills would be like, wait a minute. There isn't enough bad luck in the world for you to constantly have a problem, even on the days you get paid. That sounds like somebody who isn't able to pay their way because what they're spending money on is never ending. Whatever that is. And if you can't afford your animals, don't have them. Now, I understand you get attached. They're your babies. If someone took my animals away from me right now, I'd lose it. Those are my babies, even though they get on my nerves. They are my babies. But I'm not going to put my need to have them over their safety, security, and health. That's not love. That's attachment. But we also know she uses them for empathy and sympathy. When she needs a bag of dog food, she'll be like, I know, bud. I know you're hungry. I'm trying. Girl, what? Yep. She doesn't have kids, so she has animals. Oh, and they're so healthy. They're so healthy. Okay. Would they be healthy if people stopped sending you money? Because that's the definition for me of whether you should have them or not. Can you maintain their health without somebody sending you money? And if the answer to that is no, then you don't need to have them. They're cooped up in that hotel room all day. Then they're cooped up in the car. What existence is that? Correct, married. Silver Rush, you are correct. Oh, splash, please. They haven't seen a vet. The only thing they've seen is when animal control came to check them out. And since they said they're healthy, guess what? That's all that's necessary. If they've ever had blood work done. And we're not talking like little lap dogs. She has big dogs. You said no, lady. I understand. So expect around 11, 12 o'clock Eastern time for her to be on, needing the hotel room. And of course, none of the holes will have come off. But this is the other thing. If she had the money to take care of herself, she could pay people back, right? She never does, though. There's never a discussion of paying people back. That's another reason why you know she's living above her means. But keep on, Jordan, because as long as you're here, I will be too. You can't block me enough. Oh, thank you. I just want to show y'all a photo because I thought it. This is him drinking coffee. I got a few of them. I was like, really? That's my favorite. That's my other favorite. Who put him in an Airbnb? Now, I will admit that I had some other people that I was planning on talking about today, because sometimes you just gotta move on, especially when they're wash, rinse, repeat, right? They're gonna do the same things every day. I don't need to talk about them every day. But then some of them do things that set me off, and there's no talking about them. Right, everybody tap tap tap. So let's go back. We know that when I talked about her Friday morning, I discussed the fact that she got fired. And no surprise there, because you literally threatened them on multiple occasions. You even said it's a good thing that I've matured. You also said that you got a quick right hand, and they could get that. Oh, Billy Bonkers, would you like to come up and share your story? That is a threat, chill. 110%. Billy, if you'd like to, hit the pink and the blue people, and you are welcome to come up. I love when she's like, this woman wakes up and she thinks about me before I think about myself. You damn right. You damn right. Because I don't want anybody else taking advantage. Let's remember that she had someone give her $500 so that she could move in somewhere, not to an apartment, but be in a hotel long enough to be able to get a job, and then have the room long enough until she got her first paycheck. And she took that money and got her hair braided and her nails done. Billy, comment and I'll invite you up. Yes, there are people on here who could use legitimate assistance. And if this is how they do it, I'm not mad at it. But before you give anybody anything, watch them for a while. See what other people are saying. Read the comments for the truth. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So how'd she get you?
So, I was actually fairly new to her page, and I didn't see anything about her, but I scrolled onto her live one day, and she said she needed dog food, and, so I started texting her, and I was like, okay.
Wait a minute, hold on. You talking about Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, let me put her picture up so that we're not confused. Okay, go ahead.
And she was like, yeah, I need dog food for my dogs because they're out. So I said, okay. And, I was like, how much do you need? She was like, well, I need $85, but I need 20 more just to get there. Which didn't make any sense. But I said, oh, okay. So, and I just got this job, and I only got $100 plus a little more just because I was new to that job, so I wasted my first paycheck on her.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Because I know you did it out of the kindness of your heart. Whether it
Yeah,
was for the
so
animal, for her, and I'm so sorry.
it's okay. So now I just sit in there and I try to act nice so she don't block me so I can tell everyone what happened.
Yes, I agree. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Has she asked you for more money since?
Yeah, 'cause she needed to get there 'cause her car was empty.
No, I mean, since that incident, has she reached out to you?
Yeah.
Of course she has. Because on days when they don't come on, it's not that they're not looking for more money. It means that they're hitting people on the back end and getting money. Let me make this clear for anybody who's unfamiliar. Before you give anybody money, put their TikTok name in the search bar. And if they've come across us, there will be video after video after video exposing them. I'm sorry she scammed you. I
It's
really
a
am.
it's
But I
okay.
appreciate you being willing to share your story because a lot of people will try to say that I don't know what I'm talking about or we're making it up or we're trying to gain clout. No, I'm trying to prevent somebody like you who gets a job to take care of herself and her responsibilities and out of the kindness of her heart give somebody something that they think they need and she doesn't appreciate it at all. She appreciates it in that moment, but she doesn't care that she took your last. And I'm gonna say one final thing: if you have to go without so that you can send somebody money, you don't have extra. If you have to get permission from your spouse, think twice about it. If you have to tell them, I have to wait until Friday to send you a gift or to send you money, you don't have extra to give. Absolutely, Ladybug. As soon as they get the money, they are gone. Again, I'm so sorry. Please continue. If you come across any lives that are about anti scam, please share your story.
I will.
Thank you so much. Hold on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're not.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, perhaps she didn't intend to come up. Okay.
Good morning. You're paused.
I apologize, guys. I got a phone call and I let them know to call me back. And then when I came back to come to TikTok, it's updated. I'm sorry. Good morning, sweet sassy.
Good morning. I didn't get to hear because I just came in all of Billy Bonkers, but last night she was in J Paul's live letting J. Paul know who the fake accounts were in there.
The person that was just up?
Yes, I get the screenshots.
Send them to me.
I will. I
Thanks.
just thought that was weird, so I didn't know if I missed something.
No.
Good
No.
morning, Professor. Okay,
Crazy.
after the live.
You're trying, Billy, what are you trying if you're letting her know that people are fake accounts? What are you trying? So you want her to get money from other people so she can pay you back? First of all, she's never going to pay you back.
She's never, yeah.
But to want her to scam somebody else so you get your money is diabolical. That's diabolical, man.
When you give to these people on the app, you'll never see your money back.
No, you're not going to see your money back. Unless you have a Guardians of Valor fighting for your money.
Right. It just makes no sense that she's a scammer, but you want your money back. She's going to scam people to get money. It makes no sense.
You try a different way, Billy, because that way is going to gather the ire of the anti-scam community. Because you want her to scam to give you your money back is again diabolical.
I'm going to drop down, but I just wanted to see if I missed something.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
But after the live, I'll send you the screenshot.
Perfect. Yes, he did go to the Bills game. Good morning, Jennifer. Oh, she didn't mean to come up. Okay. Let's go back. So Asia wasn't supposed to be a part of the live for today. I was watching her, but I was like, I have other people to discuss. On Thursday, she wanted $20 so she could eat. She wanted everybody to know that she needed food and hygiene. That's when she told us that her Apple Wallet was restricted. That doesn't come, thank you very much. Correct. The hills have eyes. We're everywhere. Don't come in here thinking that you're going to utilize this live to gain sympathy and followers and etc. Because the hills have eyes. We are everywhere. Anyway, your Apple Wallet doesn't get restricted because you're doing things properly. Okay? And then she said, I haven't gotten a Galaxy in like 30 days. Are you kidding me? People don't owe you anything. Oh, Billy Bonkers, don't come in here and do foolishness because they're going to call you out. So let's see what happened that set me off. She tried to say that we are bringing hate to her because she is homeless. Why would we do that? Why would we pick on somebody because they are homeless? That is so far from the truth. But it sounded good when you said it, didn't it, Asia? And what I said to her was, and I got blocked for it, but I said, it's not because you're homeless. It's about the fact that you aren't getting your life together and you want money from other people. You can block me. Yeah, I've done Sheena. I did Sheena Friday and Monday. She'll be back on the list. I've still been taking notes on her. I'm just not talking about her today. You have been in this hotel room for months. And you think that your job is to come on TikTok. You don't provide content. You don't really tell, like, oh, this has happened and blah, blah, blah. You are only on to get money. You may tell a story or two here or there, but it is, you expect gifts and money. And you do the 1 minute videos every day. You ask people like, oh, watch me eat this Chinese food so I can get paid and blah, blah, blah. But it's not content creation. You're not providing entertainment. You only are doing it to get money. And what do I always say? If you're going to do something like gaming, like content creation, it is not your job until you start getting paid for it in a way that takes care of your life. Until then, it's a hobby that you make a couple of dollars on. But the idea that they think that they could be like, this is my job. I'm a content creator. You are a content creator in training. And you're making tips. When it is paying your bills, then you can declare yourself whatever you want. But until then, it's a hobby. You're working on it. But when you have to be mean and nasty in order to get it, where you have to say, if you've been watching me for more than 5 minutes and haven't gifted me, I even went in one time and was like, I'm broke. And got blocked. So I'm no good to you because I'm broke? You don't want you, and this is the thing. The more viewers, the more engagement, the more likes, the more people come in. And yet, you aren't even smart enough to play the algorithm the way it should be played. If you don't have money to give me, you are not useful. Does that sound like somebody that's trying to get their life together? And so she's like, I had a job. For what, a week? And then because there was a problem with your check, and understand something, when you've worked, right, and you're supposed to get your money, you expect it. And when you don't get it, it is problematic. But someone who is mature is thinking, there might be a problem this week, but they're going to straighten it out eventually. And I'm looking forward to paychecks from now until next year, not just this one. And if I'm patient, perhaps they can give it to me on Monday or Tuesday. But no. While you were saying that they better be happy you've matured, you literally threatened them on a public platform. Over and over and over again, expecting that you could still walk in there for your job. Well, no, I don't believe that. I believe you knew exactly what was going to happen by your behavior, so that you worked long enough to get a check so you could spend it on what you want to spend it on. Oh, thank you, Granny Annie. you spent it on what you, so that you could spend it on what you wanted to spend it on. You could come to TikTok and be like, see, I'm trying. When you go back to what you really want to do, which is to get people to pay for your life. Why are you so unambitious? You don't want an apartment? You don't want a car of your own? You don't want to be able to travel? Go places and see things? You are okay in your situation as it stands? When I was her age, hustle meant going out there and getting a job and making it happen. Did everything always work out perfectly? No. But I knew, okay, there might have been a problem. And until you do payroll, you don't understand the complications. And now that they're allowing everything to be computer generated, you have to understand that if this, and this isn't clicked properly, there's going to be a problem. But they can solve it. And McDonald's pays you every week. So even if you had to wait until the next Wednesday, you've already been getting your hotel room paid for. So what's waiting another week? In certain places, Aaron, it does, but not everywhere. What's waiting even another week? But I doubt she had to wait that long. So miss me with the I had a job, I am trying. No. Then she went on this rant about how, just because somebody in awareness says something and they're loud about it doesn't make it true. True. So, Asia, did you not say that you are homeless because your grandmother put you out because she would rather drink? Because your grandmother put you out because she would rather drink than listen to you? And that's how you became homeless? Is that story true? Because that's what you told us. Is it true that people have been sending you money so that you can eat and stay in shelter for a year plus? Is that true? Do you mute and block people who can't send you money? Is that true? Are you willing to take money from old men, but the moment they want to get to know you, it's ill? Especially if they don't have the money? Is that true? Have you been getting money from people to pay your way and you use that money to get your hair and nails done? Is that true? Do you decide what you want to eat? Figure out the ingredients from a recipe, put them in the Walmart app, and then tell people how much it will be, including delivery and tip? Is that what you do? No one is saying that you're not homeless. You are unhoused in a traditional sense. You live in a hotel. Who is saying anything different? We watch it every day. Her little sister was asking why we're talking about her. Because, little sister, she's setting a bad example for you. That's why. It is not anybody else's responsibility to make your life comfortable. She actually has an attitude that she doesn't get the money right away. She has an attitude because she's like, why are people just sitting here looking at me? Well, what else are we supposed to do? Is it our job to fund your life? Oh, of course, Miss Coffee. You think they don't see her? But guess what? As long as she's not their problem, they're okay with it. She's not asking them for hotel money. So keep doing what you do, girl. Keep doing what you do. As long as you don't ask us for money. I haven't seen anybody say you're not homeless for real. But once we acknowledge that, we can put that to bed. You are unhoused in a traditional sense. What does that have to do with you having the ambition to work hard? Do you think that a miracle is coming? And suddenly you're going to be living in a $3,000 condo with a what's the popular car now? With a what is Elon Musk's company? With an electric vehicle? A Tesla, exactly. You think that a miracle is just going to happen and that's going to fall on your lap? Let me tell you something about miracles. They happen because somebody has worked hard. They've worked hard to put themselves in a place. What did Oprah used to say? Good luck is preparation and like being in the right place at the right time, something like that. Like you have to make the life you want. It doesn't get handed to you. Even if you were to meet a wealthy man, right? And he wants to give you the world. Do you think you don't have to work to get there? You think he's going to pick you up out of a motel and say, I saw you on TikTok begging and you are so beautiful to me that I just want to give you the whole world. And then you get to lay in his bed and do nothing? Oh, of course Detroit Nike is begging. But I find it interesting that he never showed the hotel, but now that he's in an Airbnb, he's good. He did it because people were questioning, well, how come you're getting hotel money every day and yet you don't show us a hotel? So he got an Airbnb for a few days. He's going to go live from there and make content and act like see, and then he's going to go right back to wherever he's been staying and getting money. He's another one. Where is the ambition? And then he's like, you're jealous that I don't have to work. Imagine me ever wanting to switch places with you. Jealous of what? Of the fact that you have to stay on an app all day to get money to live? Help me understand how that's comfortable. I have to get on an app and beg or else I'm going to be on the street? Yeah, I'll take my life over that. On every day. On my worst day and on your best day, I wouldn't switch places. Jealous where? Mad where? The only thing that upsets me is that you've taken advantage of another person. But mad about your life? Absolutely not. And for the people who know what's happening and they choose to still give their money, here is my blessing. Go out the door and have fun. I don't care about you. I'm trying to stop the next nice person who thinks they're making a difference by putting you in the hotel or the Airbnb or buying you groceries. Because guess what? As soon as it's gone, they're going to be right back And let's not forget, once you send them something, they have your information. They're going to continue to ask. They're going to start requesting money. And when they don't get it, don't think they won't use the information that they got by receiving your payment app to expose you. Harley Ryder, I want her life long enough to straighten out them kids and that husband. That's the only reason why I would switch with Becky for about 3 weeks. Because that house will get straightened up real quick. And I mean the boys in that house. There isn't a man in there. Just boys. And how dare you be racist but constantly battling black people? Let's talk about it. Her son actually said on a live while they were battling an interracial couple that the only reason why the YT girl was with the black man was because she wanted to feel his member in her throat. Tell me you have a mini carrot without telling me. You jealous that man could get in her throat? Like, how is that an insult? To who? That black man was popping his collar like, you damn right. How is that an insult? But instead of Becky correcting him and apologizing, she ended the live so she didn't get reported. Let me just tell you what I love about this community. They find out who she's battling and they run over, even if they gotta throw a little bit. Listen, as a person of color, do not battle her. Because they don't care about you. They don't even like you. Her son literally got in there and was like, the only person racist in this house is me. And what I'm flabbergasted about is that there are a number of women who find it acceptable. So you must be racist too. How are you in there telling her to ignore the trolls when the trolls are asking her about her racism? Y'all are okay with that? But I clocked your names before I got blocked. And I got blocked. There was nobody in the live. I was the first one. And I said to her, you find this acceptable, Becky? I was like, Becky, you have to do better. When I typed that, there might have been 3 people in the live, and she blocked me. I went in under my backup, and I said, do you really think blocking me is going to change anything? But what's crazy is these weren't even her mods. These were people who wanted to throw for her. And you want to tell me racism is dead? Okay. Sit in Becky's live and tell me racism is dead. Correct, MAGA girl. I will always be back. There ain't enough blocking in the world. No, she didn't get banned because she's learned that if she just ends the live and waits a minute and comes back, the algorithm is only going to end the live that it took place in. But what bothered me was there anybody else in there reporting her, or was it just me? Let me see. Hold on. What I should have done was did what I was supposed to do. I'm not kidding. These were her top viewers. Top viewers. Top viewers. And you can tell it's her because she has that lamp, right? Top viewers. Top viewers. Top viewers. And then those who were saying ignore the trolls and sending money, I have your names too. Okay? So these were the people who had contributed to her live at that point. This was a big one, Tanya, and your 3 kids. Would your family like to know that you're racist, or do they know it already? Kay, what about you? You look like a child, but you're okay with racism? Okay. Oh, that was from something else. That wasn't from her. Her. So, you may think that you're sitting in the comments and nobody is clocking you. I am. I am. I am. That's what Digital After Darks are for. I'm going to share who you are with as many. Matter of fact, I should do it during the week because usually Digital After Darks have like 200-300 people, and we get to 400 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we might have to have an enabler live in the middle of the week, so that for the rest of the week, everybody knows who to look for. Oh, Lewis is in here? Perhaps he was just watching her the longest. But as you can see, I try to make sure I get documentation. People say I don't never come with receipts. Okay. Lewis, you was just in there? Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. I never been in a box before, so I'm kind of nervous. But I want to explain something. I did gift Becky one day, and the reason I gifted Becky was because there's a group on here that streams Becky and all the other beggars, and sits and gets tons of gifts and has their subscriptions on, begging for subscriptions too. I think that's totally wrong. I do not support Becky. I never heard, I barely even go into Becky's box, Becky's chat. But I was in this other supposedly awareness group watching what they do. They sit there and they make fun of people. They say horrible things about the person. They tell people to go in there and make fun of them. And I think that is totally wrong. That is the whole reason I gifted Becky. I gave her 10 coins just to show them. I admit it was wrong to do. I wasn't thinking at the time, but I do not support the beggars. And I just want to say that.
Well, listen. I am not in a position to tell anybody else how to run their platform, but I'm going to say this. I said this last night. They are only successful because people who are in anti scam support it. If what you find them doing is deplorable, block them.
I
You don't
did.
have to
I
go.
did.
No, I know. I understand. But I'm just saying this for the crowd at large. If you find that a person's anti scam doesn't meet your standard, block them. Because the hills have eyes, right? So if you're doing it and because you feel passionate, people don't know why, nor do they care why. They just see you supporting her. And then Becky gets to like thumb her nose in our face, like, see, I got one of your people to send me money to. Block them. Because the only reason why they get away with it is because there's a whole bunch of us in there supporting it. If you don't believe in people being teased based on the way they look, why are you in there? In fact, one of them actually has a video on their page tearing me apart for having subscriptions, and yet they have subscriptions. Make that make sense.
We'll see. Like I said, I never talked on a live before, so I'm nervous. But like I
Don't be
said, I do
nervous.
not support Becky. I do not support any of the beggars. That is why I am in all the awareness lives, so I can see who to watch out for. Actually, somebody in awareness had informed me that they were talking about me because of what I did. I wasn't thinking when I did it, but I was so annoyed at the fact that they sit there with their gifts on and begging for subscriptions. You don't
Yep.
beg for subscriptions. You say, if you like what you see, send a heart me. If you want to see more, join my, join or whatever. I never hear you say that. It just really pissed me off that they sit there and they're making fun of the person.
Right.
That's not right to sit there. I mean, I'm sorry. That's my point. I just wanted to make it a point to let you know and the community know that's the only reason I did it. That's it.
I understand, but listen to me. Don't allow anybody to anger you enough that you're not thinking. You know what I mean? I understand. There are things done on this app that annoy the hell out of me. But it isn't going to cause me to go against who I am as a person. Because then they win. Like everybody wins but you. Everybody wins but you. And now people are looking at you sideways. And it was because you were angry at what somebody else did. But I understand the anger.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to let you know because I come into your lives every single day, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I went back into their live under a burner, and I heard them talking about me saying, "Oh, she goes into Digital's live. She was in there first thing this morning." Or whatever morning it was, and that really truly irritated me. Yes, I blocked them. I don't go into their lives anymore. I blocked them, and I just want to say I'm sorry, Digital. That's because I saw me getting called out here this morning by somebody. I wanted to let you know why I did it. No, I
I
don't support
understand.
Becky. I know she's a racist. I know the whole family is horrible. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. No problem. Listen,
Okay.
guys, everybody makes a mistake. And if you want your mistakes to be forgiven, you have to forgive other people. Period, point blank. Now, Lazy Days, if you do it again, I can't help you.
Oh,
But I
trust me.
understand.
Trust me. I don't gift. I mean, I only gift people that I feel deserve a gift here and there. I'm not a big gifter.
And you shouldn't have to be. If that's not what you do, that's not what you do. I tell anybody, you come to subscribe for me, you might find yourself doing some work.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know. I wanted to let you know why I did what I did. That's
Okay,
all.
I understand. And thank you for coming up and having the bravery to face it. Because I
And
know it's nervous.
thank you for letting me come up. Like I said, I've never been in a box before, you know. I'm nervous. and everything. So can you please drop me? Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. I love you, Digital. I
Oh,
love
thank
coming into your
you.
lives. I love watching your lives. So, okay. Thank you. Can you please drop me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
I want to say something to Lazy Days. I've been doing this for about a year now, and you have them. There's awareness that likes to keep drama going. There's awareness that like to make fun of people. You'll get to where you know who you can watch and who you can't. It's
Yeah.
sad it has to be that way.
Yeah. It's funny because people tried to say that I didn't want the awareness label because I got subscriptions. That's not why. And I told you guys why. Because some of what's done in the name of awareness, I don't agree with.
Right,
And I have said that if you guys enjoy watch parties, turn on your light and give people the alternative.
right.
Give
I
people
mean,
an alternative so that they don't have to go in and watch themselves.
there was one. I'm not going to say the name, but there was one a week or so ago that was keeping drama going through the whole family.
Yes, I was there for that. Yep, I was there
I
for
mean,
that
that supposedly awareness was keeping the drama going.
because it gives them views, and views turn into cash.
I don't need views. I don't need coins. I don't need nothing. I want the truth.
Correct.
All right, I'm getting down, but
Thank you,
that's all
my
I had to
dear.
say.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you more.
Thank you. Do you know how to get down? Okay, yes. Listen, guys. There were people that didn't like my brand of awareness. They said I don't bring receipts, that I just talk about what other people can witness. The one thing you can't get any other way is my commentary. I do it the way I do it because I saw a gap in the way it was being done. And I take notes so that those are my receipts. You know what else is my receipts? Y'all are in there watching too. So y'all be like, yep, I saw that. I heard that. I remember that. That's my receipt. So if I don't like the way somebody is doing it, I deal with it by not adding my name to the list. I don't go in there. Thank you, Lewis. There are other people who don't like it, and I'm okay with that. I'm not your cup of tea. I agree. Going real life, bullying, sending people in there. Wait, I've watched in silent from day one. You have made some real progress, TV. Thank you, Daisy May. I don't believe in teasing. I don't believe in sending people in there just to be mean to watch the crash out because the crash out adds to your views. I don't believe in that. Johnny, someone said hospital. I just know that she's sick. I don't know where Maggie is. I don't believe in doxing. None of it. But there are other people who are comfortable. They don't find anything wrong with it. If you find something wrong with it, don't sit there. That is how you show your protest to what's happening. You don't sit there. And if a watch party is really what the community needs, you be the watch party. There's enough of us in this community that we can have watch parties on every single scammer. We don't have to patronize the parts of awareness, T pages, whatever the case may be. Correct. Don't give them the views, the attention, the likes, none of it. Don't even go in there and say, I don't like what you do, because they love that. I say it all the time. People come to this community because it is easy to build one. Because we all feel so passionate about it. Unfollow and block. And if you don't like the way I do it, do the same. Unfollow and block me. It's no worries. I'm not concerned. The people who are here for me are here for me. But since she feels like, and I'm talking about Becky, feels like the racism, the narcissism, the machismo, the disrespect that goes on in her house is acceptable on this app, I'm going to be in your nightmares. Back to Asia. Her question was, what awareness is being raised? Yeah, keep the comments classy. We don't do that here. You will get muted real quick. Don't do that here. You want to fight? Go open up your box, hit the live button, turn your light on, and say whatever you want to say. Do not come here to air out how you feel in a disrespectful way. We don't do that here. If you don't know how to be classy, take your fingers off your phone and just listen. But don't try to be a Billy Badass in here. Not gonna work. Keep your comments cute or get the mute. I love that. But she wanted to know what awareness is being raised. Asia, we are waving the red flag, the warning flag, to say, keep your money that you worked hard for, because she has no intentions on doing anything other than having you pay for her life. That's the awareness. And if you don't like it, then do something differently. Because we're not going to stop while you take advantage of other people. Hold on. Um, Thank you. I just saw what Pappy Van Winkle had to say. He'll probably come in under another burner. Um, What's so funny is that yes, I sit in different boxes all over TikTok. And anybody knows me knows when I go into a box and I'm talking to people, even they could be talking about something random. I'm always going to bring it back to the scammers. And when I've done what I wanted to do, said what I wanted to say, I get out. I'm not sitting in boxes for 5 hours hoping somebody comes through and gifts me. I don't do that. Now, to say that, of course there's drama. Look at what we're doing. We're talking about their drama. So, of course there's drama. And is there drama within our tent? Of course. But anybody that knows anything about me knows that if I get the opportunity to get into a box about our drama, what do I always say? When can we end this? When can we wrap it up? Because it is causing a division within the community. Get off your chest what you need to get off, but the people need a place to go. And they're starting to feel like they have to pick and choose. And that's only going to hurt us. But I also go everywhere because why can't I? I'm trying to make sure that we get out in any community. But when I care about certain people, and we all know who my red line is, I'm going to stand up for her. 110%. And a few others. But addicted to TikTok. How am I supposed to do what I do without watching? Without being present? Without talking to others? Because this is a collaboration. You guys help me. When I'm in another box, they help me. We all share what we know. I literally can't watch every single beggar. Because there are just too many. But again, it's so funny because I just said, if you don't like my brand of anti-scam, block me. Don't engage. It's no problem. Right, there is a new one born every day. Facts. And then we got people raising their kids to be like it. Like, come on. You don't like my version? Go turn your light on and go do what I do. Come on a schedule so that people are expecting you, not just randomly. You have a schedule. Talk almost exclusively for 3 hours, 3 days a week. Do it in a coherent manner. Be organized. Also provide additional information to help the community that come and support you. And do it for what? December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Almost a year. And then you have every right to criticize. You have every right to come in and give me some advice about what I should do. Until then, pipe down. Be easy. Because it's real easy to criticize what I do when you can't do it yourself. Pipe down. Anyway, back to regular scheduled programming. Who's next? Goodness gracious, we already at 9 o'clock. I've only gotten through a couple of people. We might not get to everybody today, but that's what Wednesday is for. So I talked about Team Medina on Friday because I have never seen two people need a bus ticket as often as they do. But this is what I mean when I say it's a never ending cycle. So they've gotten bus tickets all over the place. They claim that if they got to Corpus Christi, which it turns out they're on the outskirts of Corpus Christi, but if they got to Corpus Christi, that they would be given an efficiency and they would be straight. That's all they needed. Now, as someone said last night, with a broken foot, you are moving around very well now that you've gotten the money to where you're going. But it doesn't end there, though, because no sooner do they get there, they need $10 for a used blanket. Now, according to them, the person who was bringing them the blanket had to drive 30 minutes. If they were willing to drive 30 minutes, did they really want the $10? What, did they? That's all they asked for to drive? Their gas was probably more than $10 to drive a used blanket to you. It was 45 minutes. They wanted $10 for that. But before she could even finish that, she was already lining up that we need a king-size futon for our efficiency, and that's going to be about $75. And someone brought up getting an air mattress, which would be considerably cheaper, and oh no, we need something more sturdy. You get something sturdy when you can afford it. But they don't care that you have bills. They don't care that you have responsibilities. They don't care that you might want to go on vacation. They don't care that you might want to put money in a savings account or a 401k. Why isn't it ever the people with the most wealth in these boxes helping people? Hardly I have something for that in a moment. I don't understand how someone can go to work every day to earn a paycheck, to turn around and give that money to people who haven't worked since I've been watching, and that has been months. Y'all know Heather. I saw when he came on. And why doesn't your girlfriend ever say anything? You know, she's another Angela. Always benefiting from the beg, but never getting on live and saying thank you. She'll say it from the background. But why, Team Medina? So, they were asking for $75 for the futon, right? But then they added to it because a girl that she called her sister, which is clearly a friend who probably gives her money from time to time, who works as a manager at CC's, invited them to the restaurant the very next day. And what did Team Medina say? Well, are you going to cover that? Because I don't have no money. And the quote-unquote sister was like, I'm the manager. I got you. Now, if I was looking to get on my feet, the very next words out of my mouth would be, "You're the manager? Are y'all hiring?" But no. What was Team Medina's response? Well, guys, as you can see, my sister has invited us to eat at Cece's for free. So if y'all can pay for an Uber, then we'll go. You want a free ride to eat, but not a free ride to try to get a job. Make that make sense. Why do y'all keep talking about a Brittany? Maybe she's here to learn a thing or two. Maybe she's here to run back and tell Jordan what we say about her. But guess what I love about that? They often do it while the person is live so that everybody in the live gets to hear it. Team Medina was on 5 times yesterday with a different bag. I believe it. They have gotten to the point where they have convinced themselves that this is a job. Begging on TikTok is a job. And this is what's funny. They take begging on TikTok more seriously than they do an actual job. If they took the skills, the time, the dedication to get a job, they'd be successful. Hey, Checkmate. Hey, Troller. Sorry I missed you guys coming in. Oh, let me talk about that. So, in last night's live, I talked about the fact that I'm setting up a scammer spreadsheet. And on the spreadsheet, I have their names, backup accounts, mods. The other thing I have a space for is payment apps. And what I realized was that we can get payment apps shut down if the 300 people in here all reported it at the same time. So, soon, you might see a payment app, and we may all just want to go and report it at the same time. Medina is streaming me. Hi. Hi, everybody over there. Can anybody explain to me why it is your responsibility to go out and work hard every day to take care of 2 grown, able-bodied people? Anybody want to answer that question? Why is it that she needed an Uber to go get free food but didn't ask said manager for a job? Streaming me is only going to hurt your feelings. I promise. Because I am only going to make it clear that you are taking advantage of the people who actually care about you. They're only in your life. They're only a part of your community because they're taking care of you. I wonder what would happen if somebody said no a couple of times. Would they be your sister then? I have never in my life seen people need bus tickets as much as you. But let's talk about your last bus ticket bag, Medina. You came on and told everybody you needed $39, which was your portion of the ticket. Then somebody sent you $5, and you remembered that y'all had $10, which would have taken almost half of the ticket price away. How did you go from only needing let's say $20 more to needing 74? I thought your woman had her bus ticket and all you needed was your bus ticket. How did we go to her needing a bus ticket too? Or was it a lie? Were you taking advantage of the people who care about you? Because perhaps the people who sent more money to get you to the 74 didn't realize that your original ask was $39. Do the people who care about you enough to send you money intend to keep taking care of you? Because, guys, she has no intention on stopping. As long as you send, she's gonna keep asking. Does it make sense to y'all that she comes on multiple times a day with a different ask? With the expectation, she will say to y'all, it's 55 people in here. If everybody sent $1, we would have the money. Why is it your responsibility? Every day. Tell me what they've done themselves to get themselves out of their circumstances. They've done nothing but ask. Their entire platform is asking you for money. So thank you, Medina, for streaming me to your people. I appreciate it. And all I'm going to say to your people is free yourself from the obligation. Because if you truly had extra money, why are you working? And if you really had extra, why can't you just fund the project? Why does it require 55 people? Or are you taking from your need because you feel bad for other people? Let me say this to you too. If you needed it, would Medina send it to you? She's going to say yes. Of course I would. I help the homeless around me. But you won't help yourself get out of your situation? You won't help yourself get out of the situation you're in by you and your wife getting a job and taking care of yourself. But I'm supposed to believe that you would help somebody else? Well, guess what? You never have to, because you never put yourself in a situation. You never get a job long enough to be able to help anybody else. So that's an easy, of course I would help other people, but I'm not in a position to do so. When will you get in a position to do so? Everybody sending her money, free yourself. She's not your responsibility. She's a grown woman, and so is her wife.
Hey, y'all want me talking shit or what? What the fuck?
Don't curse in my live.
Nah,
We're
nah,
just
nah.
done.
You have my fucking picture
I
on here.
do. I do. We can have
Why?
a reasonable conversation, or you
I don't
can
care.
go.
Report my Cash App, report everything, because you know what? At the end of the day, I'm still gonna get help, bitches. I'm still gonna get it.
And does that make you feel better?
Yeah, so what's up?
Does that make you feel better?
Nah, you're a fucking old bitch probably talking shit about somebody
I
else.
could. Guess what though? I've lived a life long enough to become an old bitch, and I
Okay, so
haven't taken advantage of other
why do y'all gotta
people's.
put me out there like that?
Because
That's
you're
fucked
taking
up. You're
advantage
fucking
of
kids.
people.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm old enough to take care of myself.
Old enough to take care of myself. You're probably an old bitch. You probably
What
fucking
what does my age matter?
put your face on. Put your face
I,
on. Let's
my
go.
age, for
Put your face
what?
on.
For what?
Put your face on. You scared or
Why
what?
would I, okay.
Show the whole community.
Why would I bother to answer to somebody who can't take care of themselves? Picture me allowing
Take care of myself.
somebody who is
You're just
begging.
making me more famous.
Good. I hope so.
Oh.
Does that make you feel better?
Yes, it does. Because you know what? I
Okay.
just got my paid room again, nigga. Again. And y'all.
She called me a nigger. Okay. Well, for that, you're gone. For that, you're gone. She just called me a nigger. And y'all want to tell me racism is over with? Okay. Oh, okay. Hey,
I'm
princess.
speechless. I'm speechless. I was trying to get up there to give her a taste of her own medicine, but I don't have anything to say now after that word.
And
Mm-mm-mm.
she's asking to come back.
Oh, bring her up.
No, absolutely not. Not after you call me a nigger. You will never have space in my space calling me a nigger.
I agree.
Never. Never again. How dare you? You want to call me old? Call me old. I don't care. Why does it matter? Again, why does my race and age matter? Is that all you have? That's all you have is my age and my race. But guess what? I take care of myself. Nobody takes care of me. And so you got your room paid for. I thought it was an efficiency that nobody had to pay for. Do you see how the lies don't make sense and y'all are still paying for it? I thought it was an efficiency that they didn't have to pay for until they got on their feet. That's where they were supposed to be going. Right, Team Medina? Isn't that what you told your people? And now you're in a hotel room that they have to pay for? Scared of what? You disrespected me in the worst way possible. You don't deserve to be in my space. Scared of you for what? You can't do anything for yourself. What is there to be afraid of? What in the world would they? And you're all the way in Texas. What is there to be afraid of? You got your room paid for, so why are you still here? You, I'm making you famous. So what's the problem? Yeah, she's all the way in Texas. You got your room paid for that you told people they wouldn't have to pay for. You're asking them to pay for Uber so that you could get around and get food, but not a job. You want them to Uber you to your sister's house. You had to tell them that her mother gave her a $5 box to dye because you were afraid that they would ask, where did that money come from? But I have a reason to fear you? Right. You know, you're not famous, you're infamous. There's a difference. Everybody works. The people who take care of her work. If y'all think that you're making me mad by sending your money, you are sorely mistaken. I could care less. I'm trying to stop other people getting taken advantage of. But if you know who she is, you listen to her lies and you accept them, here's the door, baby. You can mute Team Medina now because you could block her, as a matter of fact, because she doesn't deserve to be in my space at all. Thank you, moderator, for doing so. And I don't care if she has 35 burners and comes in here. Guess what? Welcome to the grid, bitch. Welcome to the grid. You thought that doing that was gonna, the only thing you did was amplify yourself. Now I'm always going to be watching, and your face will always be here. And I'm always going to let people know how deplorable you are. And you use the N word on top of that. Did you really think that was going to change anything in your benefit? You thought that was going to help you out? My dear, you have come to the wrong one. Because unless you start taking responsibility for your life, the money is going to stop. I promise you. Ask any of the others we've brought awareness to. It's going to stop. And when it does, what you going to do then? Because my bills will continue to get paid. I will be comfortable in my own place, eating my own food, having a bed and not a futon. It's okay, because this is the thing. When you let them be who they are, they show you. And all you have to do is believe them the first time. When talking about my age didn't cause a crash out, she went there to try to cause a crash out. Again, you're inclusive until you're pressured, and then you show your true colors. You want me to respect your lifestyle, but you don't have to respect me at all? Don't worry, y'all don't have to apologize, because all she did was amplify herself in my mind. So guess what? Every time you go live, I'm going to be there and you're not going to know. Every time. So thank you very, very... Oh, Tooth Fairy is in here? Love you, Tooth Fairy. All you did was amplify yourself. Get used to seeing your photo on the screen, baby. It's funny. She can be on here begging every day, all day. But she sees her picture and it's crash out time. Get ready to crash out. And that woman that never shows her face to say thank you, tell her to show her face. Don't worry about mine. Tell her to say thank you. Tell her to get a job. Yeah, Claudia is her woman. Claudia's in here. She said what she said and she meant it. So why are you apologizing? I just hope all of the niggas in your life that support you because they support who you are finds out. I hope so. Because she said it because she meant it. Right. We're in 2025. But you want me to respect you and your choices. Okay. No problem. But Claudia, why would I hear it? All you did was prove my point. Because tell me where I lied. Did I lie about anything? So, y'all have what y'all need. Do what it is that you need to do. And just know that I'll be watching. So have a good day, Claudia. Matter of fact, Have the day y'all deserve. You can go now. I'm off of you. Yeah, exactly. You're famous. You're famous now. Afraid? Yeah, afraid. Oh, I'm afraid because you called me the N word. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know how to handle anything. You want to tell me to calm down? Why would I have to calm down? I didn't say it to her. She said it to me. Guardians! I can't believe you're awake. Why would I have to calm down? How you gonna tell a black woman that was just said the worst word that you could ever say to her, and now I have to calm down? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to calm down. So Carla, if you no longer want to make content about your walk with God, when someone says that word to me, it is always going to get to me. It is always going to get to me. There's no other way but to let it get. Like, it's not supposed to get to me. I'm a human being too. Anyway, I told y'all Friday that with Carla, isn't it odd that she gets up and gets herself together in the evening? You haven't been doing anything for weeks. You don't need that much rest. You don't need that much rest. But if you are resting, why are you putting makeup on at 4 or 5 o'clock? Where are you going? Maya Angelou, what else is there to think? She lied about her location for no reason. Now, if you don't want people to know where you are, I understand. But you made an entire story around getting money that God blessed you with so that you could leave this ungodly city. And yet, you are still there. So, when you wonder why I'm questioning everything else you say, because you told an unnecessary lie. You could have said you were anywhere in the country. But to say that you were blessed with almost $1,000 by God, that it was a surprise, you weren't expecting it, so you know it was God fulfilling a prayer that you would be able to leave an ungodly city. Lying about where you are wasn't the problem. You added God and its blessings to that lie. And as a God-fearing woman, that offends me. So she claims that she doesn't want to do God content, even though that is how she amassed the following she has. When y'all have time, go look at her page and see how many followers she has. But now all of a sudden, she doesn't want to do that. And that's why she can't get more than 9 or 10 or 12 people in her live. Because that's not the content she wants to do anymore. That's not why you lost your viewership. You lost your viewership because you started begging. And you added God to it. And people who are truly God-fearing are kind. And they're going to help you. Until they realize that you aren't following any of the principles outlined in the Bible based on the things that God has said to you or has laid out in the Bible. Where was Jesus lazy? Can I ask? If we go all the way back to the book of Genesis, God created everything on the earth, and on the seventh day, he rested. The seventh day. He worked 6 days and rested on the seventh. So if you're going to follow God's pattern, if you want to walk in his footsteps, why aren't you? Jesus' earthly parents knew what his mission would be, and yet they still trained him to be a carpenter. He didn't start his ministry until he was 30 years old. What do you think he did from 15 to 30? Do you think he laid in bed and said, I know God is going to bless me? See, if you're going to use the Bible and God, I'm going to need you to do it accurately. Because there's going to be somebody like me who comes along who can clock it. You don't want to do God content anymore, but that's all you do. But you do it in a way to benefit yourself. And then somebody will be like, oh, you know, my father is sick, or oh, God bless you. God bless you. I'm praying for you. And I hope you get through this season. But yeah, like what I was saying, I need a car. Half the time you don't even say amen. What prayer doesn't end with amen? But you're praying for people, right? Okay. Guys, people who are either starting their walk with God, trying to enhance their work with God, stop doing it with snake oil salesmen. I say this every time. Jesus said that there were going to be people when he returns that are going to say, I prophesied in your name. I did this and that in your name. And I'm, as Jesus, is going to say, I never knew you. That's telling you that people who say that they are in their walk with God are not. Just because somebody says it doesn't make it so. And she intertwines her walk with God with, he's going to use you to bless me. If you want to be a preacher, be a preacher. And go work and have people support you in your preaching. Again, even though some preachers are snake oil salesmen, they work. I want you to find somebody who didn't do anything that continued to get blessed by God. Find them. So she started off, it was about 4 p.m. She's just getting up because she's still in her pajamas. She's irritated. Why, you might ask? You are in a hotel room that has a kitchen that allows you to cook, that you haven't paid for, and I think she's going to have it for at least a week. Thank you for the gifts, guys. I appreciate it. But I more appreciate the likes. I appreciate it. So she's irritated because, of course, this perfect hotel, we're not staying in motels, y'all. That's too below her. It has mold. And she could see particles in the air. And on day 2, she suddenly didn't feel good. Although right before she said she doesn't feel good, someone asked her how she was doing, and she said, "I'm doing great." But she doesn't feel well now. Good morning. Because the bathroom doesn't have ventilation. And when she went to the front desk, even though the woman wasn't supposed to tell her, I'm sorry, because the woman wasn't supposed to tell her, but she told her they have a real mold problem, and that's a problem across the whole city, and that if she wants to be in a place that doesn't have mold, her room is going to be at least $120 a night. Why do we need that specific? God is going to work it out. You don't got to tell us how much, right? Because God is going to fix it. But because there's mold, it is added to her year of illness, although she hasn't seen a single doctor. Carla, there's something called community health centers. Whether you have Medicaid or not, but she claims she's been denied twice. You can go to a community health center, tell them you have absolutely no income, that you are living off the kindness of people that you keep scamming on TikTok, and you can see a doctor for free. But of course, Carla doesn't want that. Carla wants to see a doctor so that they can order lab work that she doesn't have to pay for, so she can go see a holistic doctor. She can't get Medicaid, and she wants to know how to get insurance. I have told her 3 million times to go to the Affordable Care Act. Obamacare, if you will. It's a website. And you can apply for insurance if you can't get Medicaid. And based on your information and where you live, they'll tell you what your options are. We are in September. It is your year of sickness. Why haven't we seen a doctor? No, she doesn't have any children. They're in her account. She doesn't post them. You have to go to her bio. They're there. Of course they would give her Medicaid, but she says she's been denied. Now, if she's denied in her circumstances, there's a reason. And by the way, she wants her passport too, so she can go to Mexico on your dime to see a holistic doctor in Mexico. And she even said that if God would like her to do a 9 to 5, even though he keeps telling her she doesn't need one, she'll do it. But of course, I had to explain for the 65th time that, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I'm still mad. I'm going to be honest. She had to explain to us for the 65th time that she can't work because the 2 times, now hear me out, the two times that she got a job, she didn't have money to pay for the room, and so she got a call saying they were putting her stuff out, so she had to leave the job and she was fired. Now, since I've been watching her, she has never once not been in a hotel room. I'm lying. The very first day I saw her, she didn't have the money for the hotel room, and so she said she was going to the lobby to cry. Her words. And when she got down there, just as she thought that there was no hope, somebody sent her the money and she was able to move to another hotel. Since she went to that other hotel, I have seen her in 3 or 4 different hotels, but she has never not had one. And people in general are not gifting her during the live. So, if you've had the money, if you keep quote unquote getting blessed in the month or so I've been watching you, why haven't you gotten a job? And if you are so ill, why haven't you seen a doctor? If you can't see a holistic one, see a regular one. And work on finding out why you're so sick. Perhaps you will qualify for disability if you are that ill. And maybe that would be God's blessing. And then, because you'd only get SSI because you haven't worked enough, you could get in low-income housing. But no, we'd rather not do what we needed to do what we want to do, to get money. And then she takes very expensive supplements. Who's paying for that? And what I truly believe is she's not actually getting the hotel paid by other people every day. I think our escapades in the evening may be doing that. But she wants you to know that she wants to move to a hotel that costs $120 at night. That would make her comfortable. She says she just wants to be in a decent place, one that isn't killing her health. She says she knows she's at the end of this season. Why did you end up in this season? Just so that your pride would be stunted? Because that's what she says. If you knew the mold was bad, why are you still here? Why don't you go to the doctor? It's called the Community Health Center. There's definitely one in Nashville. Or in the outskirts thereof. They see you regardless of your ability to pay. They will put you on what's called a sliding fee scale based on your income. And find out what's actually wrong that has you in a season of illness. What's actually wrong that has you in a season of illness. Again, God is blessing you with a season of illness. She wanted us to know, though, that she wasn't anxious, that she knows God got her. She's just irritated and annoyed. And so this is literally what she said. She will work a 9 to 5, even though God doesn't want her to work a 9 to 5. She's willing to do it. But the mold is why her health is bad. She isn't anxious, she's annoyed and irritated. She knows she's at the end of her season. So she's just asking God for a car. Literally. Hold on, guys. Gotta do the puzzle piece perfectly, or else I have to do it 3 times. When did we get on this car binge? Before it was always a hotel, a hotel, a hotel. And she's not like, just give me the money for the car. She's actually gone places and applied for a car. How do you apply for a car with no income? How? Even at the smallest little, here's 5, how do you get a car without an income? But God told her she's no longer called to work a 9 to 5. But you want people who do work a 9 to 5 to take care of you. The diabolical mind bend you have to do to feel like you deserve other people to work so you don't have to is mind-boggling. Like, that is some gymnastics of the mind to think that that's okay. And my question is this: when are you going to start doing your content? Because she's upset that TikTok no longer pays her for her videos. Anybody who thinks that they want to make money doing social media content knows the rules of how to get paid. Even I know that in order to get paid, you need to do at least 3 videos a day, at least a minute long. And they cannot be begging. They do not monetize begging videos. They used to, because it was just about doing a video for a minute. They changed the rules. So if you are somebody that is interested in doing content creation for a living, at the very least, You should know the rules of how to make money making content. You are too lazy to even do that? But you want me to believe that you're walking with God. In order to walk with God, you actually have to study the Bible, right? That takes work. But only God just wants you to rest. Well, when you are in a delusion to think that you don't have to do anything to get blessed, you are in the situation you are in for that reason. That season will not end until you realize that you have to do something differently. Your season is going to continue, my dear, until you make a change. If you want to make money doing content, learn what makes content. You listen, you don't have to collaborate. You don't have to do anything outrageous to go viral. Just be consistent and not begging. But your lives are all set up to encourage people who are trying to walk with God to send you money. You know, one of Jesus's biggest things was empathy for other people. They don't have to share your religious beliefs. They don't have to do the things you do, but we're supposed to have empathy for everybody. I don't know where empathy became weakness. It is literally Jesus's entire platform to love your enemy as yourself. I just came across this thing where now empathy is supposed to be linked with the devil. Like, what? You are relying on that faithfulness to get you by. And as long as you are going to keep adding God to your beg, to your scammy ways, I'm going to call you out. And I'm hoping that I reach just enough people that they stop taking care of you and you have to start taking care of yourself. Because enough is enough. Moving right along. Let's get into some bolos. Now, I'm calling them bolos because they're new to me. They might not be new to you. And they're up here because at the end of the day, they're giving me scammy vibes. So this is Dr. Pepper Lover, the gingerbread. Her backup, by the way, is Dr. Pepper Lover. It's Dr. _Pepper _Lover _backup. That's her backup page. Yes, please tap, tap, tap. We have changed the photo. And she was on asking for $40 to help her with groceries. She's incredibly rude. And again, when you are in a situation when you're asking for people's help, how do you get to be rude at the same time? I love how they expect to get money, but they don't want to have to answer any questions. This is the thing. They also seem to not understand how TikTok works. If you go live at 3:01 and I open TikTok at 3:05, I didn't hear what you said for the first 4 minutes. So when I come in, it's when I'm new to what you're saying. What do you mean you're sick of repeating yourself? Okay, thank you. 7 p.m. There's also one at 8 p.m. Well, I guess we're going to be jumping around. I guess this means I'm going to be addicted to TikTok because I want to support some other people who are doing lives like me. Y'all are so when I say y'all, you know I don't mean y'all. Some people on this app are so weird. Like, and it's funny because I saw somebody said it. If you know that I'm everywhere, then you have to be everywhere. That's the only way you know. But I'm addicted. How can I do what I do if I'm not watching? Like, I don't understand what people expect me to do. But guess what's great about that? If you don't feed me, fund me, or fuck me, what you think about me doesn't matter. You're not going to change anything about what I do on my platform. But be mad about it. I'm okay with that. Back to regular scheduled programming. Today's been a good one. And it's great that I didn't get any sleep because I'm just ready for it all. Let's go. So, of course, we got the famous one-liners. I don't care if you just send $1. Now, this one works. She works at McDonald's. And I chose this picture in particular because I want you to see her lip and what's above her lip. Now, I'm not making fun of her. But you work in the food service industry. And she claims that she puts on a mask and she wears gloves and that when people see her on the grill, that's right, the grill, they're happy to see her there. I don't know about that. I don't know that I would want her cooking my food. But they can't put her at the register because people wouldn't want their food from her. Is that 7 Eastern? Announcement to Christy, get ready to record all for one so you could play it in her live. That was when I tell you that gave me so much joy. The only part I didn't like was listening to my own voice. But the idea that you were playing my live for her people was chef's kiss. I love it. Keep it up. Anyway, I did a little digging into her account, not her life. And she just moved into her studio apartment on July the 4th. She did a video. Is it Checkmate and Trolla that are live at 7? It was 7 Eastern and 8 Eastern, not Central, from what I understand. Yes, it was a beautiful thing. Yeah, all for one is Eastern. And so is the one at 8, I believe. And then she got mad because somebody requested $500 from her chime. That cracks me up because why do you get mad? You can just reject it. But they get mad because when they hear that ding, they're expecting money. And then I was asking her questions. You're new to me. I don't assume that you are a scammer. Remember that part of what we do is to help people find the resources, right? I don't start off with, you're a scammer. I start off with asking questions. And we know I love to ask questions. I will have one question after another. It's a good thing my man doesn't mind, because I will drill down until there's nothing but dust. And the first thing she did was go look me up. As if that's going to matter. You can block 75 accounts. And it was so funny. I was typing so fast, I said, welcome to the gray instead of welcome to the grid. It don't matter because here you are. But she said I make videos about people. No, I don't. The only videos are either videos that I've made specifically, or I have cut a clip from a live to let everybody know, if you missed the live, if you want to hear the rest of this, go to the YouTube. But I don't post videos about people. I was literally asking her about resources. I said, do you have access to Snap? I said, have you heard about All for One's Linktree? And you block me and say, oh, I make videos about people. If you're not a scammer, you're not on my page. But when you block me from asking you about resources and you say even $1, anything helps, guess what? Welcome to the grid. And in your case, welcome to the grave. And then she said, I'm even willing to pay you back on Wednesday if I have to. So they don't want to just get through to their check. Because let's be honest, when they get their check, if they have to pay anybody back, guess what they're going to do? Beg for more money. So they don't want to pay you back because they want what they have earned to go in their pocket. And if you were really looking for a longer term solution, why can't anybody ask you about resources? And that's when I know it's about the cash and not the groceries. It's not about the groceries. Because you can tell when someone is in a situation and they hear about resources, they want to know about them. When I get blocked for saying All for One's name, guess what? You go from a bolo to the top of the list. Because that means people have told you about it. And instead of working it, which is what it requires, again, it's not a miracle that's going to drop in your lap. That tells me everything I need to know about you. I wasn't nasty. I wasn't rude. Y'all know I don't do that. Because if you really are in need, then my goal is to satisfy the true need. But if you're here just for cash, to get it out of people, because you think that it's an ATM for you, I'm going to come for you every time. And no, ma'am, we're not happy to see you on the grill. Get that worked out. Go to the doctor. Figure something out. I would not be happy knowing that you were on the grill cooking. And this is how do I want to put it? A blurry photo. Watching it live is disgusting. But the name in the ad is there. I told y'all to back up. Go watch it for yourself. See if you agree. Oh, God, it's already 10 o'clock. Okay, hold on. We're going to get through these as fast as I possibly can because I want y'all to watch them. This is Stephen, Clover, and Ozzy. Now, she has 2 dogs. From what I can tell, she takes very good care of them. So on that, we're good. But Steph and Clover, well, Clover and Ozzy are beautiful dogs. Steph Travels is what I will call her. Asia's live, by the way, if anybody wants to go watch her. She believes that her content of traveling around the country should be on other people's dime. Now, I watched other people do it, especially on YouTube. They make money on YouTube. They may even have their payment apps posted. But they don't say, I need a new car and I need y'all to pay for it. They make content. They may even say, oh, the car is broken down. We're going to go do day labor to pay for it. They're not sitting there saying, we need a new part for our car, you pay for it. They do something. They develop a skill. They do photography. They do day labor work. They'll clean a house because they want to enjoy that lifestyle. Well, not this one. This one literally wants you to pay for her every move. And if you do, she'll continue to give you content. That is mostly about the dogs. And look at where we're staying, and there's the tent. She has gotten over 100K in the last year, according to reports. And she is in competition with Cody, who is back, by the way, doing private lives to dry beg. She lets you know what she needs, when she needs it, and expects you to do it. I bet she did, Heather. I bet they did. So my problem is this. She asked for a new Jeep. And instead of buying it, she thought, well, it's my money now. I'm going to buy land. And then, of course, she feels justified because she asked the people who gave the money, if any of you have a problem, you can ask for the money back. Well, if you've already spent it on land, how are you paying them back? Good morning, Checkmate. Right, she did a faith. How are you paying them back if you've already purchased the land? But guess what she knew? She knew that nobody would want to be called out for asking for their money back. She knew that. So in her mind, that was her right to do. And since nobody asked for it back, nobody had a problem with it. That might not be true, ma'am. They just didn't want to look like Indian givers. They didn't want to be called out for asking for the money back. And we know that's what you would have done. But there are people who work all year who don't come close to $100,000 in a year. At this point, you should have some sponsorships. I'm sorry, Tori. Guess what? Don't go over there. Because this is part of why she allows it. TikTok recognizes engagement. They recognize the number of people typing in the chat. And that promotes her. Don't give it to her. She's made $66,000 since June in TikTok. Imagine how much she's gotten sent directly to her payment apps. But thank you, Princess. Oops, nope, I don't want to do that. I'm so sick of TikTok and all. You touch one thing and it's all over the place. Any way to try to get you to make them some money. So, Steph, since you're new to me, I'm going to spend some time with you. Of course she's not holding back taxes. But the good thing about TikTok is going to report it. Okay, Daisy May. I'm not going to keep you guys much longer because you know I need a nap today. Oh, wait, I'm going too far. This is Chase Wanders. Him and his girlfriend live in their car and they wander around the country expecting people to pay their way. But he offends my sensibilities. Right, Heather. Right. You always working, but you're always live. So he's another one. He just straight out begs. Like there's a little bit of dry begging involved, but this is just I need, we need, I need, and y'all need to send in the money for it. But why he offended my sensibilities is because he went on a food strike because people weren't sending him money. He needed a new phone. He needed a mobile mechanic to fix the brakes. And he was lost for what to do. Because he can't function without a phone. And he wants us to know that this is his main source of income. Coming to TikTok to beg. Yep, he did self-diagnose with autism. Of course he did, because it's cool to be neurospicy now. I ain't never seen people want a condition as much as autism. But I think some of that has to do with the fact that autism qualifies for Social Security. So he came back and he was eating the next day. And people were like, wait, I thought you were going on 100 straight. And so he said, well, we raised $230 last night, so I think it's okay for me to eat. If it was up to me, you'd have starved because you wouldn't have gotten a dime from me. How dare you use a hunger strike, which is an expression, it is normally used as an extreme expression of oppression or dangerous conditions or the need to bring attention to mistreatment. It is not used to coerce people into giving you money so that you can have another day of just sitting in your car hanging out with your girlfriend. That offended me. And they wanted us to know, as soon as you keep, he's anti-American but uses federal programs. Of course, Tooth Fairy. Of course. And I'm not saying you have to like everything that goes on here. He's anti-work as long as you're working. He likes work when it's you doing it. But he wanted everybody to know, as long as you keep sending in, he'll be ordering the mechanic. He wants you to know that if you want to subscribe, that if you want to support his nomadic lifestyle, he called it Nomadic Adventures. Subscribe or donate. But people were like, but I thought you weren't going to eat until you got everything. And he said, well, I was able to buy a phone, so that was enough. Correct. I love that, Peppy. So he was able to eat premium ramen and strawberries. But that he did the hunger strike because he needed to demonstrate the urgency and the necessity for funds. My taco seasoning. Can you explain to me why it's the responsibility of anybody else to take care of him? You mod for him, so you must support this nonsense. Taco seasoning. He also has arrogance regarding food. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, you ate what you could afford. I mean, people still do it now. As expensive as food has gotten, how many of y'all are buying steak and lobster and crab and doing seafood boils in your house? Or are you like, listen, we going to get this big rump roast. We going to cut some of it into thin steaks. We're going to take some of it and make a pot roast. And we might even grind some of it and make our own hamburger. But he believes that he should eat the freshest, the most organic, the most special meals to heal his body from within. Sir, again, you can have all of that if you work for it. They get EBT. They get $600 in EBT and go through it in 2 weeks. Oh, because they need the finest of the fine. Because people were like, how is ramen good? And he was like, this is a superior ramen. Okay, it's a superior ramen because it said so on the package? Be for real. And so he felt like prior to the hunger strike that he wasn't expressing the urgency. And so he got a $400 phone. And he's making $23 a month payments on it. And then he decided to go into the fact that he was raised to be a people pleaser. He had learned helplessness. Sir, you are still living. I'm liking my own life. That's funny. I was just trying to do something, but it made me like my own life. Now they're going to be like, she likes her own life. You are still in learned helplessness. Because you believe that people owe you the lifestyle you've chosen for yourself. That's not how life works. And you might get away with it for a little while, but it's not going to last. It's not going to last as long as you need it to last. Let's put it that way. It might last a while, and you might say, oh, girl, what are you talking about? We're still good. Look at what my hunger strike did. But people are going to come to their senses. And guess what's going to make them come to their senses even faster? Inflation and tariffs. I saw a lady last night. She did a video where the soda she drank was $3 a year ago. It's over $7 now, and she won't buy it. When everybody's money no longer goes as long as it used to, I no longer have any to give to you. Yes, I saw that. Ron Peering was stealing money from a Catholic church. He was arrested and charged. So you're okay with receiving stolen money as long as it's taking care of you. You don't care where it came from. But you don't think that you should be talked about? You don't think you deserve the highlight that you're getting? They show you how deplorable they are. You just have to stick around long enough. You are okay with somebody stealing money from a church that people took their hard-earned money and donated to. But guess what? It was just one extra step or two. Instead of getting donated directly to you, it got donated to a church. Your friend stole it, and now it's in your pocket. So it just had to it had to go around the corner to get to you. And you're okay with that. Okay. And the people who support you are okay with that? People. And these will be some of the same people who will be mad about a single mother getting rental assistance and food stamps and Medicaid. But it's okay for him to get money that was stolen from a church. Okay. I said to him, wait a minute, no. Kimberly said, why are your needs anyone else's problem? And then she said, you put a lot of pressure on your followers to support you. They got blocked. I got blocked. I didn't even write down why. But my thoughts were, people are asking you questions and you won't answer them. So he got a welcome to the grid. He didn't know what it meant, but we did. So here you are, Chase, and your girlfriend. We will be watching. Black Mamba says he has ovarian cancer. I need some proof on that. If he does, bless him. I hope he goes and gets everything that he needs. Just go get the hysterectomy and get it over with. And if it hasn't metastasized, that should be enough. That's how they treat it. They give you a hysterectomy. He also wanted everybody to know that he has a fundraiser. Oh, I do have her name, Lauren. They're both disabled. And I said to myself, how come disabled people always find each other? They're always in a relationship with another disabled person. How do you find each other? Is there like a dating site for people who are disabled? And I'm not teasing people who are disabled. We all know both of my knees need to get replaced. But how do they always find each other? And then be lazy together? Tooth Fairy, he's going to probably be up on the grid a lot. Because there is a lot to unpack there. Right? Birds of a feather. At the doctor's. Probably. Maybe I should create that. A dating app for the disabled. I'll put Faith on the cover. That'll make it go viral. Hinder for the. Listen, they need to find love too. Self-diagnosed autism is what I know about him. I don't know about Lauren. They do. Of course there are disabled apps. If you have STDs, there's an app for that. You're a farmer, you're a country person, Jewish, Muslim, Christian, mingle. Trust me, if you have something, look for a dating site. It's probably already there. Yeah, he needs to wander his ass to a job fair. Facts upon facts. Well, guys, thank you for sticking around. I can see my numbers are dropping. There must be some scammers on. I appreciate my mods for being able to stick around. You guys know I like to try to end at 9:30 because, damn, people have other stuff to do. I do, like take a nap. I appreciate you guys. Hug your loved ones because tomorrow isn't promised. It's breaking news now that 6 people in Jerusalem were just unalived. You never know. Be kind to make amends. Make amends. Because you can't do it when it's too late. And you always see people, oh, I wish. Don't wish. If you think about it, do it. Tell somebody you love them that you haven't in a long time. Because you never know. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. You are my motivation. Please do at least 1 minute of self-care today. And I posted the Let It Go because I promise it will be helpful. I promise. It might not be the first time or the second time, but once you get used to seeing things through that lens, it will get easier. I promise. 1 minute of self-care, guys. That's the minimum. But it doesn't take long. When you're watching a TV show, you get 90 seconds of a commercial. So if you're watching something, go in the bathroom, close the door, and ease your mind during the commercial break. It's as simple as that. Okay, guys, thank you. I will see you in the streets, obviously, tonight. But if not, I will see you Wednesday morning, 6:30 a.m. I appreciate you guys. And I'm out.